Hey everybody, it's Kyle. I am coming to you live from my basement. It's been quite a holiday experience. I don't know about you guys, but for me it has been anyway. And I'll get into that a little bit here in a few minutes. But yeah, so let's see what is bugging me. I mean, that's really kind of the first thing on the agenda here. So I'm going to go ahead and go with video game addiction. I know somebody who is dealing with this right now, and it's gotten to the point where it seems as though they can't even be trusted to tell the truth on it. And I don't know, it's something relatively new to most people my age and older, obviously. I grew up loving video games. I remember getting Pong on, for my TV at home, and I remember having that and playing it hours on end. And then I remember when I got my Atari 2600, and gosh, I mean, I can't even tell you how many hours I spent on that. Grew into a Nintendo, Super Nintendo, Genesis, Saturn, and on and on and on and on. And I stopped somewhere around the Xbox 360. I did have one of those, and it was pretty great. I had it when I was a stay-at-home dad, so it was helpful when the kids were napping or something. I could game a little bit, and it was kind of fun. Really, after that, I mean, I've played a few games, on mobile devices and a couple of computer games here and there, And then, of course, this year I got the Oculus Quest 2. But again, I don't think that's going to be a big gaming device for me. It's going to be more like a media entertainment type device, I would imagine. We'll have to wait and see, I guess. I have gamed on it, and it is pretty amazing and pretty immersive and all those good things. I guess the real situation at hand with people who are, and I'm going mostly with younger people because it seems to be something that greatly affects them. Although I do know some older people, some adults that have issues with it as well. But I always kind of knew when to shut down, when to shut off. And I always kind of looked at gaming as a form of entertainment. I never really thought about it much more than that, I never thought about it as much more than that ever. It was something fun to do, to pass some time, but I never, too much, I never pushed anything aside so that I could game. And this is kind of what I see going on. And it's unfortunate because, you can really lose track of time. Now, I have had that happen to me. I used to play StarCraft when it came out, and I also played a game called Tribes online, and played the hell out of those. And there were many times I was playing those games where I would look at the clock and it would be like 10:30 or 11. I had to get up at like 6 to work the next day. And I would say, okay, I have one more round here. And then I would look out at the clock again and notice outside the window that it was becoming daylight. So I'm familiar with that feeling. And I'm also familiar with how it feels the next day when you still have to go to work and you have put yourself in a situation that just blows and really hard to get through those days. Then again, the same thing can be said for drinking and other such things where you're hungover and trying to work through the day. When you're kind of young and inexperienced, those things can happen to you. You can make those things happen. But I guess we're really already past the point of that first generation of people who've grown up with games and people who see gaming as something that could be a viable career option in the future and things like that. Now, a lot of you, if you're listening, you're probably going, well, there's really nothing like that. There are ways to make money gaming, and that's fine. It really doesn't matter to me. But I would stress it this way. If you stop and you think about, kids who want to become pro football players, for example, okay? So you play football in Pee Wee League, and then you play maybe in junior high. If you're really good, you get onto a high school team. You play in high school. If you're really good at that point, then you get whittled down into maybe a college division team, Division III or Division II, Division I. The elite go to Division I schools. And I don't remember how many hundreds of those there are, but, so there's like 55 people on each team or something like that. I don't know the exact numbers, but basically what I'm saying is you start from a wide pool, and then you gradually work yourself down to being an elite athlete. So let's say you make it there, and where are you going to go next? It's very, 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 very difficult to play football professionally. And not just football, baseball, basketball, hockey, anything, soccer. Professional sports are hard to get into because now you're in a position where you're trying to gain a spot on one of 30 teams in the United States of America in the NFL, right? And each team only has so many players, like 53, I think, or I'm not sure, but it's not very many. And then, I guess there are Canadian football leagues still and stuff like that, but it's crazy, It's so difficult to make it to that point. Now, that being said, you can make it there if you really want to, if you really do everything you can to get to that spot. But it's going to be a difficult road. You're going to have to put every single thing into it. You are going to have some natural ability and talent as well. But again, I would never poo-poo someone's dreams of doing something professionally, except for this. The thing with video games is that there's good things about them and there's bad things about them. But to treat them as much more than a form of entertainment in media is probably not the best plan. I think there are people who probably have a natural ability and can achieve greatness with video games, but a lot of those people will end up working to help create them and develop them. I don't think they're going to be playing them for a living. There's going to be very few people playing video games for a living, making a career out of it. That's my opinion. In the future, that may change. I really don't know. I'll be honest with you. I think everything's going to go the way of VR and AR. And I know I might have a skewed vision of that just because I just got a VR set up. But I really don't see why anyone would want to play anything on a two-dimensional screen again. Just being straight up honest with you. The way that you're immersed in that world and it's all around you and it's almost as though it becomes part of your world is outstanding. And I really fear for the future as far as that goes. We have to maintain that distancing from reality because if we don't, people will get caught up in it and we'll have the same issues like video game addiction that we have now, but they'll be tenfold because it will be hard to believe that what you're doing there isn't the real world. I really think that's a potential fear on the horizon in entertainment. But yeah, it's kind of dark and foreboding, and I don't really want to be that way. So I'm going to go ahead and take a break, but that's what's bugging me right now. And I'm just working with this person to try and give them the best advice I can to help them understand that, they're kind of better than this, and they should be seeking out things that will help benefit themselves instead of cancel out things about themselves. They don't need to enjoy success only through that. They can enjoy success in other things in life. So that's kind of where that's at. But yeah, it's been a real situation. So, all right, I will come back in a little bit better spirits, and we will talk about some things that I am into right now. But I'm going to go ahead and throw it over to Kyle. Hey, Kyle. All right, and we're back. Okay, so what am I into right now? Really on the music front, not a whole lot. I have joined some additional groups on Facebook, a different vinyl group, or two maybe, and also a CD group and a cassette group, because I have lots of both of those. So, it's kind of fun to share what you're listening to with other people in all those formats, and that's kind of what I've been doing. So let's see, what else am I into right now? Again, not much in music, just listen to some old school hip-hop and stuff. On the reading front, I did finish the final book of Gideon Falls. Amazing. Well, I mean, what an incredible series that is. I do need to read that second crossover book. I am liking that series as well. And then I did purchase a couple of graphic novels. One is called Noir. So it's like a compilation of different noir tales, crime noir tales, with a bunch of different authors and creators that I enjoy. And then the other one is kind of a history of hip-hop comic that just kind of shows how everything evolved from the very beginning down to the first person who ever scratched and started mixing that way. It's really cool. I was kind of getting into reading that a little bit last night. But anyway, so that's interesting. And then I did pick up that John Alvide Lindqvist book, Right, I'm Behind You is what it's called. So I'm interested in reading that. I haven't even started yet. I need to. It was really weird going to the library. So basically you reserve the book or put it on hold at the library, and then it was like a drive-through. It was like going to McDonald's or something, and they open the window and hand you the book that you have on hold. It was really strange, but good idea. At least they're keeping busy and stuff during this pandemic. Let's see. Watching. We did watch Wonder Woman 1984. It was, it was fun. It was interesting. It was corny, but it was a good, fun ride. So I think everybody enjoyed it, as far as the family goes. What else? Not a lot. I mean, we're watching different shows all the time. We did watch a show last night, my wife and I, not the kids, but it's called Sleeping with Other People. It's with Jason Sudeikis, and oh my gosh, I'm horrible. I cannot remember that woman's name. She was in Community, and then she was also in what is the show about? Glow, Gorgeous Ladies of Wrestling. A tremendous actress. I feel horrible. I can't remember her name. But it was about those two, and it's a really interesting story. It is a love story, kind of a romantic comedy. Not funny at all times, but a good story, definitely. So check that out if you get a chance. You're looking for something like that to watch. That's really about it. I mean, not much else. I mean, it's... there's plenty of stuff coming out. I really need to watch Soul, the new Pixar film that's on Disney Plus. We need to sit down and check that out together. And there's a few other things like that out there that we need to watch. But yeah, that's kind of all that's going on. We're sticking with our sitcoms we love, Kath and Kim, and then we also really love Kim's Convenience. Fantastic show. Both of those are fantastic shows, actually. And yeah, I mean, that's really about it. So coming around to the inevitable, it's kind of weird I would be touting this after the what's bugging me this week, but I did get the Oculus Quest 2 device for Christmas. It's something else. I don't know how many of you have experienced true VR in that sense, where you're holding controllers and have a helmet on. I mean, you're fully immersed in something. Don't know how many of you have experienced that, but it is something else. And actually, the Quest 2, I don't know if the Quest 1 did this. I know some other devices do it. You can put the controllers down, and it can actually see your hands, and you can use your hands as controllers. So your actual hands in front of your face, and you can control things that way as well. Not on a lot of the games. You really need the controllers for the games, but for some things, you can certainly do that. And it's pretty cool. It definitely, I can see how people would get lost in there for sure. It as neat as it is and as cool as it feels and looks and all that stuff, it's also kind of frightening. And I kind of worry about where it could lead possibly. But that's not what I would be using it for at all. I'm interested more in watching movies and experiencing things on it than anything else. I did get the Star Wars Galaxy's Edge game. It's pretty cool. I need to play a little bit more of it, but it's pretty neat looking. I haven't played a lot of this because I've had a really bad cold. No, it's not COVID. It's an actual cold. But it has really stuck around for a while, and so I haven't felt the best. And so it's kind of hard to play that and focus on it when you're not feeling too good. But I have played a little bit of it. The other game I got was Arizona Sunshine, which is a zombie type game. It's pretty interesting. Definitely really amazing looking and fun to be a part of. But yeah, it's fun. So far, my wife and I and my daughter have played it. My son hasn't really played with it yet. We will. I did go buy a Chromecast for the Samsung TV in the living room because you can cast from the device so that people can see what you're seeing on television. So we definitely want to do that because it's also beneficial in that it helps you direct people who are wearing the helmet. So yeah, it's a trip, man. Definitely. I would advise you checking it out if you get a chance to. But please don't be like the idiots that are all over YouTube. I'm still constantly floored by watching people run into walls and into televisions wearing these things. The one that I've seen the most is like a plank walking thing. I think it's on PlayStation VR too. But basically, what people do is they go get a 2x4 and put it in the middle of the living room or wherever the space is that they're playing this. And there's this application that you can purchase for it. And you're basically, it looks like you walk on the board that's on the ground, but it looks like you're walking out over, off the top of a building. You're standing on just a plank hanging off the side of a building or off the top of a building. And you can look down and see everything. And, you can jump and fall and all that jazz. But I think people are getting so immersed in it and stuff, they're forgetting that they're actually just 2 inches above the floor. And they're also inside in their living rooms. And man, they are jumping off and running right into the TV or into the wall and doing all kinds of damage. So don't be one of those fools, but it's still worth checking out VR if you get a chance. It's a real trip for sure. That's about it, guys. Not much else going on. Just working, listening to music, looking forward to going and having a nice New Year's Eve dinner. My daughter turned 13 yesterday, actually. So now I have 2 teenagers in the house. You boy. But, she's really something else. She had quite a bit of money saved up between chores and babysitting, and then, of course, Christmas and birthday money. And she and her mom, luckily her mom didn't have to work this week, so she took her and they went on a shopping spree yesterday. That's what she wanted to do for her birthday. And she actually got her nails done. She's really big on doing that type of stuff. But yeah, that's what they did. They had a mother-daughter day all day, and just enjoyed time together, and she got all kinds of stuff that she was wanting. So hey, whatever floats your boat, right? But yeah, so that's about all that's going on, guys. I will have another episode next week, and I'm shooting towards trying to get something special going here in the new year as far as other episodes with people, not just myself. I'm sure you're tired of listening to me whine. I know I do that sometimes, but I'm just kind of sharing things with you guys too, sharing a little bit about myself and my life, and that's kind of what this whole thing's about. It's good therapy for me, to be honest with you. But that's it. I will check back in with you guys next week, and we'll take it from there. And that's it. Have a good, happy New Year, everybody. Be sure and be smart. Wear your masks. Don't go to big events with a bunch of people, because I got a feeling in about 3 or 4 weeks from now, we're going to see a massive surge, unfortunately, of COVID-related infections and, unfortunately, deaths. So be smart. Wear a mask. If you get a chance to get the vaccine, get the shot. Just enough with this stupidity, okay? It's not a political situation. It's straight up science, period. I've said it before, and I will say it again. Take your political stuff and stick it up your ass, because it doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things. What matters is being a good human and treating other humans in the same fashion, okay? So, be a good human. Care about others. Wear your mask. Don't gather in big groups right now. Let's not spread this thing any more than we have to. We already look like morons right now. So let's change that, okay? All right, guys. Happy New Year. Hope you had a happy holiday. Merry Christmas, Kwanzaa, Hanukkah, all that stuff. And we will catch you guys next week. But until then, get off my lawn.